Introductory to Environmental Science 1, and I am Dr. Shmaefsky, and this video is going to give you a little background about the course and what some expectations are. I'd just like to provide a little background about myself, like what was done in the introductory video. I am an environmental scientist by trade and practice, and I've worked in industry and have done research and overseas and domestically, but I do have some experiences that I share in class particularly, and a lot of my knowledge comes from actually working in the field, not just studying it in college. I'd just like to try to provide you with some tips for success in this class. It is very important to read and review the syllabus, and I mean review it regularly so you know what's coming up in the class, and that is available on D2L. And also it's important at the beginning of each week to check for assignments in the D2L page daily even, because we will be doing assignments every week, sometimes a couple assignments a week, depending on the content being covered. Also, if possible, enter the due dates for assignments once you know them in some type of calendar reminder, so you know that that assignment is coming up. And this is very important because students keep, tell me all the time, oh my gosh, I didn't remember the due date and stuff like that. Put it in a calendar, and this will remind you an assignment is coming up. Because some assignments will take a while to do. And also check your D2L email daily. I will send emails out on particular important things in class or things that are coming up, and if you miss them, I'm relying that you will check your D2L, because I know a lot of students don't, and because I'm not going to send email to my Lone Star. Usually I just email through the course, so make sure that your D2L is linked to some other email account that you can see those messages coming in. So what I'd like to quickly do is go through the syllabus, and this is what your syllabus is going to look like online. Keep a copy of it if you transfer to another college or need it as evidence of what the course covered, because it's sometimes difficult to keep older copies of a syllabus for the semester that you took. So the syllabus does have important information, and one important piece of information on the syllabus is that we will be using a free online textbook, and there'll be links to other resources that supplement the textbook. So we're going to be covering content in this online textbook, which makes it a little different from previous semesters. So just be aware that you won't be spending money on any other resources for this class. So I know one thing that is important to you is evaluation, or how I'll give you your grade. The grading will be done in the D2L gradebook. So you will see a number percentage grade that I put into the structure of D2L, so that when you complete assignments, you can get an estimate of your grade. The problem is that when you don't complete a grade, it doesn't automatically enter zeros. But just take that into mind when you're calculating your grade. If you're missing certain assignments, what a zero would do to that assignment. So for our evaluation, we will have 300 points worth for 3 lecture tests that will run throughout the semester. These lecture tests are open book, but they're not timed, and you have a couple of chances to get the correct answers. I want you to learn from the test itself. What is the proper answer to that question? 300 points will also be from online assignments, and there'll be several assignments ranging from labs to other activities, and that's going to be equal to your test grade. So assignments are important too. The other important grade is the Annenberg Habitable Planet. This is a supplemental lesson that I'm grading separately from the assignments because of the importance of these. So they'll be worth about 200 points of your grade. The other 200 points will be from a comprehensive final. Yes, the final is a lot of points, but it is very important because it's an open book essay final, and you'll be answering essay type questions, meeting a certain minimum number count. Now, meeting the number count doesn't mean you get 100. A lot of it is grading on citation, accuracy answer, and also completeness of answering those questions. Now, just a little back to Annenberg Habitable Planet. Do not go directly to the website. I give you information about the website, but do not start assignments on your own using the sequence of the Habitable Planet website. This is their sequence. We're not going to be doing all of these lessons, and we're not going to go in a particular order of these lessons. We're going to go in the order that we're going to follow in the class. So when you get to your D2L module and it has an Annenberg assignment, you use the links that I provide you only and the documents that I provide you with to answer questions. So with the Habitable Planet, and I'll show you a little later what it looks like, you'll be watching a video and answering questions according to a document that I provide. So again, use D2L as your guide for where you should be on Habitable Planets. Don't use the gradebook. Don't use any other sources. Just a D2L module that you're in at that time for the assignment. So this is what the Annenberg Habitable Planet website's going to look like. You'll see where the arrow is. You'll see all the chapters of this assignment. I mean, of the whole book. It's kind of like an online book. And for example, this one is chapter 1, which will be covered first week of classes. So where you see the arrow is, you will be directly taken to this page and you will click on viewing the video. Do this while you have the assignment document open, preferentially, because then it allows you to fill in the answers as you're watching the video. There's also a text that goes with it. So if you don't understand the video, there's text that goes along with it. So just pay attention to mostly the Habitable Planet video that I give you the link for that particular lesson. Okay, also in your syllabus, something that is very important to the state of Texas, to the college, and to me, is making sure work that you submit represents you. Even if you work as a team, it's going to be important that you provide your own wording and answers. So one thing we have in the syllabus is what's called the artificial intelligence statement. The college has made a statement about the faculty's right to allow you to use or not use artificial intelligence to write answers. If you do, please cite it. In D2L, we can check if you are using AI as a way to answer questions. It does show up from our end, and that will be considered not representing your work, or what we call plagiarism or lack of integrity. And we have the right to fail you for that assignment and not let you take it over again, or we could, in some cases, if it's bad enough, give you an F for the course. So please be aware of that, is that use your own knowledge. I've had students that purchase answers online. I see that my stuff is all over the web, and that's recognizable, believe me, because I grade these things. So please use your own work. If you do use AI, tell us in what capacity, because I know my own writing could be improved. But these questions are going to be very specific, and the answers should be specific to the questions that I'm asking. So please be aware of that. We look for your original work, and please do read the Lone Star College Integrity Statement about what, and read what we have online about what we consider plagiarism. On the bottom of your syllabus is to be what I call a tentative schedule of lectures and potential labs. In this class, labs will be done at home, or will be done with a sim, or with basically just paper and pencil, like a case study. So we're going to be covering these 6 topic areas for each week you see in the upper chart. And those are the chapters that correlate with the book. The book chapters are very few. There's 8 chapters, but they cover a lot of information per chapter. And the last topic is not going to be, there's not a chapter dedicated into the book, but there'll be a PowerPoint available for that content. And of course, the video lecture. So please be aware where we are. Also be aware of the test weeks too, that I'm going to give you ample time to take the test, because I know you'll also be having coursework to do. And again, it is an open book test, but it will take time to complete. As part of the proposed lab schedule, we will try to do some activity related to the lecture. It could be related to any of these topics that you see here, or a special topic. So this is just a proposed syllabus. And don't worry about what's called the SOLs. That's just for you to have in case another college is looking at the course and saying, did you cover this, this, and this? And people, believe me, other colleges will understand that. Now, so as far as how you manage D2L, what I like about D2L is you can use it on a desktop, laptop, a tablet, a phone. If you use it with an Apple type phone, you better be real careful because file formats can be kind of messy between you opening files and me opening your files. So if you're working with a PC or an Android, I usually have no trouble with people working on D2L with those devices or some type of Android tablet. When it comes to Apple products, be careful of your file formats. Do not send me stuff in Apple formats. That means like pages files and certain picture files. I will not be able to open them, and I will give you a 0 until the assignment is put in the format I can open up. Unfortunately, D2L only works with Microsoft. So please be careful about that. So make sure if you're working again with a Word doc, you save it as an actual Microsoft, I should say Adobe PDF, or a Microsoft Word document, or an actual JPEG. So please, and I will remind you of that. Believe me, when the assignment is sent, I will say I could not open this assignment. Please resubmit. That's why it's important to pay attention to D2L, because that's the only way I can communicate with you about assignments through D2L. So while navigating through D2L, there is an introductory video for you to watch the first day of the semester, but also the important thing for you is where this arrow is. It's going to be the content session of this course. Of course, the grades part, course activities part, I don't know if you have that on your site, but it does show you probably in your site what different assignments have been posted. And so, but please pay attention to the content section. And in the next slide, I will show you the modules that go to the content section. So in the content section where you see the red line is please pay attention to what are called the D2L modules in the module window or sidebar, whatever the heck they call it. So you can see here, when you click on one of these, it will bring you to that lesson. The beginning date, that means the date you'll be able to see assignment is up. If it's dated for the future, that means you don't have access to that assignment unless you ask me for permission. If you want to work ahead of time, that's fine. But you know, your modules will all be posted as we come up to that week or a week ahead. So just click on it, and when you click on the module, you will see not only the beginning date for that assignment, but the due date. Now, the due date means I want that assignment in before you get a penalty. I won't give a penalty if you have a legitimate excuse, okay, for being late. I have had students that were literally a month late with an assignment, and I don't think that's fair to me as far as having a graded assignment late. And some assignments, you know, require interaction with other students, particularly if it's a video type assignment. So please, I do not shut down assignments. So that means at the end of the semester, I will leave assignments open, but if you submit something after the due date and after a particular period, there will be a penalty for that if I grade it at all. And I have students that still submit assignments after the class is over. Now, certain things like tests, I will shut down unless, you know, you have a good excuse for why you couldn't take the test within 1 week after the test period. So please be aware of deadlines. And please, you know, I'm just going to say be courteous that late assignments do build up for me too while I'm grading other work. And they also build up for you as you're trying to catch up with other work too. Now, what's going to be very important for this class as you begin, I do want you to introduce yourself using a website that's going to be called Flip, which you see the module right underneath it. So you're going to go to the Flip and basically introduce yourself once you download the software. And I'm going to give you a little further instruction on that. So you can also see in the top, lined in yellow, the beginning date and the due date for that assignment. So, you know, for certain, like lecture 2, you're going to see the start date is June 5th. The end date is June 10th. So I give you ample time to do the work. And it's particularly important in the summer to keep up with your work. This is a little more distant view of a module. I don't know what module this is, but it shows you a whole a lecture series. So the upper arrow shows the video lecture that I will give. Sometimes there'll be a couple of little lectures or one big lecture. So this would be in place a lecture, just like you were attending a lecture class. And these lectures go along more or less with the textbook, but also with the PowerPoints, which I provide you with too, PowerPoint slides through the lectures. Um, you can also see with this assignments, there are a couple of supplemental videos, which are not part of the textbook content, but you will need it to look at the assignment below where the second arrow is. So all assignment sheets and links will be in D2L where you see that middle arrow. So don't go to anywhere else to find that information. Use the hyperlinks in D2L for assignment sheets and for any link to like Flipgrid or to the Habitable Planet. And then in the lower arrow, you see a Dropbox where you put assignments. And this is pretty intuitive on just clicking on the assignment sheet. Now, one thing students do, I find out, is they'll download an assignment sheet and then fill one out as a separate document. And then they submit the blank document accidentally. If you do that, I will put a 0 in the grade book and ask you to resubmit. If you submit the wrong assignment, because sometimes that happens, people just put in the wrong assignment, I'll again put in a 0 and tell you please submit the correct assignment. And just for safety, make sure assignments somewhere have your name on it, and again, have the answers completed. So if you have any questions, please email me through D2L. Don't use my regular email because a lot of times you'll be spammed out and you'll end up with 800,000 other emails in my mailbox. So please email me through D2L because it goes to two different places where I can check it, and I will reply you back through D2L. But if you have any questions about the course, let me know. So I just want to end this by saying thank you for enrolling in the course. I know we're going to be busy with this course. It's going to be a lot of work. The tests aren't going to be brutal, particularly since it's open book. And my goal is to get you to learn, not so much memorize, but get you to learn how environmental science is done. And this is particularly important with the lectures and lecture videos because content that's not in the book is going to be mentioned. So thank you and good luck with the course.